Okay, so now that we have talked about making a file in RSlogix 5000 and Studio 5000, what we want to do now is talk about the differences about the two. So in RSlogix 5000, you have a base system down here. You have a little pop-up down here for like troubleshooting and stuff like that. If you have an issue with a hardware device, like an I/O device down here, you can click down here and it will show you exactly what's going on. You do have a tab up here in the upper left-hand corner, which is called Controller Properties. In the Controller Properties, you have the general scenario, so that you have exactly what you've already specified before. Obviously, the vendor is Allen Bradley. The type is going to be what you have selected. You have your name. You can change the name if you want to right here. You have your date and time, which I always select to go to my desktop. Then you have a serial port if you happen to use a serial port. Again, we're not going through that as far as that goes. We don't have serial port connections. We're going to be using all our connections through Ethernet. You have an advanced section which you can choose to use a controller fault handler or a power-up handler. We're not going to do that either. We're just going to basically show you how to program with these. Then you have a system overhead time slice. If your program gets so big that by chance it takes your processor's taking time to to actually scan through it, then you can increase this if you want to. Normally this stays at 20, so if you get to a program that's so big that it needs to be over 20, then you probably need to change controllers anyway. Protocols, again, this is stuff we're not going to be using. It's just understanding that you can use a DF1 port to port, just more advanced stuff. You have sequential functions, and we'll get to talking about sequential function chart in later modules. You have user protocols. Again, this goes back to using strings and ASCIIs and stuff. You have the file, which is the file name. You have memory, which is how much memory you've currently used in the program. And then you have your major faults, minor faults, and securities. So those are a couple key things and a couple things that are, that at first glance you have. The next thing again is you don't have any more tabs down here. So now that's RSlogix 5000. So let's actually talk about that, and let's compare it to the Studio 5000. So let's open up Studio 5000. First off, we notice we have the same feature where we come down here and we can select our I/O tree, and we have, so they basically kept all the stuff they used to have and they just added on to it. So now you have down here, you have controller organizer and you have logic organizer. The controller organizer is going to show you all the files over here. The logic organizer is just going to show you all the stuff you have in your logic. So currently we don't have that much stuff in our logic, but if you wanted to single out the two and just kind of see a rough overview of what was in the program being used, you could do that. That's one thing that's got added and is different between the two softwares. Is it really kind of an added thing that is valuable? It really depends on how much you use it. I don't tend to use it whatsoever. I'm used to programming over here and adding stuff right here. This is basically what you're seeing over there, this program section. So all the task and the main task and all the stuff that you have is basically all you're seeing right here. So just know that there's not really too much of a benefit to that, but I mean, it's there. So now we're going to go up in the upper left hand corner and look at the controller properties. The controller properties just about identical. You have your structure about what you picked. You can come down here and change your chassis size if you want. You can change your slot number. You can change your name. And you can also change the controller if you wanted to something else. So we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it like it is. We're going to use the date and time. Again, you cannot set the date and time unless you are online with the controller. So don't try to set the date and time unless you're already online. The advanced, and that's again showing you can choose stuff like that if you wanted to. You can match the project for the serial number for the controller if you wanted to. You can allow consumer tags to use RPIs and stuff. We'll talk about that stuff a little bit more later on. Again, down here you have your overhead time slice. The overhead time slice is again basically the timing of your scans and stuff of that nature, and where do you want the rest of the time to go to run a continuous task or reserve it for communications. We're again using Ethernet, so some of these things don't really actually affect us. The sequential function chart, I will show you how to program with sequential function chart. There's 4 languages in ControlLogix. I will show you all 4 languages so that you are versed in all 4 languages. And what I mean by all 4 languages is there's ladder logic, there's structured text, there's function block, and there's sequential function chart. You will get everything you possibly need to in this course. So okay, so with that said, we go through and you can look at memory again. This is just a memory. Major faults, minor faults, alarm log, and alarm log was added, so you have that, and you have some advanced security stuff if you needed it. We're not changing any of that. I just wanted to show you the difference in the environment that you currently have. They did add a couple things up here for instructions, but not enough to really kind of hinder me going through all the instructions as far as that goes. As we're programming and stuff like that, we'll show you all the we'll go through the more popular ones and then some of the more detailed stuff. But again, we'll want to go through as much as we possibly can, but not overwhelm you at the same time. So that shows you kind of the differences between the two. And in the next module, what we're going to be doing is talking about actually getting into programming and getting into using the software and really the nuts and bolts of how things are laid out and understanding timing and understanding stuff of that nature. So again, we'll conclude this module and carry on to the next one. Okay, thank you.